and thank you for joining me. I will be going over understanding classroom assessment practice. Introduction to classroom assessments. Purpose of assessments: to evaluate student learning, inform instruction, guide future planning. Overview of types: pre-assessment, formative, and summative. Assessment is a vital component of education practice, guiding instructional decisions and improving student learning outcomes. Pre-assessment diagnostics assessments. These are used before instruction to gauge prior knowledge and skills. The purpose is to inform teaching strategies and lesson planning. Some strategies and tools: 1. KWL charts: what students know, want to know, and have learned. Pre-test: short quizzes assessing knowledge on a topic. Surveys and questionnaires gather student interest and backgrounds. Pre-assessments help identify students' prior knowledge and learning needs, enabling targeted instruction. Example of pre-assessment: learning objective. Students will solve multiple step word problems involving fractions with 80% accuracy by the end of the unit. That is our target. Example: conducting a pre-test on a math concept, such as fractions, to determine the student's understanding before introducing new material. This will help us to know what we need to work on to get to that learning objective. Pre-test can reveal gaps in understanding, allow teachers to tailor their lesson plans effectively. Formative assessments. These are ongoing assessments during instruction to monitor student progress. The purpose is to identify learning gaps and adjust teaching as needed throughout the lesson. Some strategies and tools: exit tickets, quick reflections at the end of a lesson, quizzes, short assessments to check understanding. Pre-teaching: students explain concepts to one another. Formative assessments provide ongoing feedback to both students and teachers, fostering a responsive learning environment. Example of formative assessment: learning objective. Again, we have the same learning objective. Students will solve multi-step word problems involving fractions with 80% accuracy by the end of the unit. The learning objective is the same, but what we are doing to reach this goal is different. This is another assessment that we will do to accomplish this goal. Using exit tickets after a lesson on fractions to assess which concepts need reinforcement. Exit tickets are a quick and effective way to gauge student comprehension at the end of a lesson. Summative assessments: culminating evaluations at the end of an instructional period. The purpose of these is to measure student learning against standards or objectives. Some tools or strategies are: final exams, comprehensive tests covering all materials. Projects, in-depth assignments showcasing student learning. Standardized tests, assessments measuring student achievement against benchmarks. Summative assessments evaluate student learning at the end of an instructional period, providing a measure of achievement against standards. Here's another learning example of summative assessment. The learning objective here is students will compare and contrast the impact of two historical events on modern society by creating a visual presentation by the end of the month. An example of this is a final project on a historical event that requires research and presentation skills. Final projects allow students to demonstrate their understanding in a comprehensive manner, integrating multiple skills. importance of multiple assessment methods. Engages different learning styles and performances, provides a comprehensive view of students' understanding, support continuous monitoring of progress, and guides instructional adjustments. Utilizing diverse assessment methods accommodates various learning styles and provides a holistic view of student progress. Technologies and digital tools. Below are some tools for assessments. Google Forms create surveys and quizzes. Kahoot interactive quizzes for real-time assessments. Edmodo communicate assessment results and feedback. Seesaw digital portfolio for students to showcase learning. Flipgrid video-based platform for students' reflection and assessments. Digital tools enhance assessment practices by facilitating data collection, analysis, and communication with stakeholders. Some methods of communicating assessment data are use digital tools to share progress with students and families, create reports to highlight strengths and areas for improvement, engage stakeholders in discussions about assessment data and next steps. Effective communication of assessment data is critical for engaging students and families in the learning process. In summary, assessments are integral to the educational process, serving as tools for enhancing student learning, informing instruction, supporting differentiation, monitoring progress, and engaging all stakeholders in the education system. By leveraging assessments effectively, educators can create a more responsive and equitable learning environment that meets the diverse needs of all students.